Recently, I was using the bathroom and I just so happened to look up at the ceiling. And as you see, this spot right here, which I will zoom in on. And I noticed that little black right in there. It's kind of difficult. Let's try to focus. So that black right there and a couple other spots. And I noticed just in general, the drywall, as you see, is kind of textured like. And there's another black spot right up there. And so I touched it and it was very soft, which means it has water on it. So I went upstairs to the bathroom that's above this spot, and here's what I found. What I found out was this: when you run the water, as you see here, some of the water runs down here and then to here, which is not sealed. Thus is getting behind here, running and missing the actual pipe, the overflow pipe that's behind here. And then instead of it going down that overflow pipe, since it's missing the overflow pipe, it's dripping down below the bathtub and has been dripping and leaking on the ceiling on the floor below. All right, so what I just did was took off the overflow drain cover, and as you can kind of tell, this cover is not centered on there correctly, and I'm assuming because the house has had foundation issues in the past, and so some of the plumbing may have shifted. I am not too concerned about trying to get that centered back up, so I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I did clean it off, and as you see, there's some dirt on here. I believe there's a lot more on the other parts, but clean it off, and then next put some silicone on it. And the reason you want to use silicone caulk or some sort of silicone is because silicone resists water. If you use like a latex caulk, then that latex will actually mold and won't provide you any value, and then you will have to redo this again. All right, so now I have the caulk on here. As you kind of see, it got a little bit, too much on here. But the goal is you want to cover up every piece. And this faucet is dripping, so that's another issue that I will have to address in another video. But as you see here, you want to basically put this plate or cover into the caulk. And so what I did is I put some of the caulk all the way around where this plate would sit, and then I pushed this plate into that caulk and then used the screw, tighten the screw here so that it would lock into place. So then I came back on the outside here and just wiped it smooth so it looks similar to this, where you can tell that there's a caulking or some sort, fill it in. But again, this is silicone. I know I'm saying caulk, but oftentimes those words are used interchangeably. And this is the caulk that I use. This is GE Tub and Tile Silicone, waterproof. It takes 12 hours to dry. I had used this once before and it dried up, so I cut the top off, and that's why this looks like this. Normally there's a tube or a cone that you cut just the end off and then use that. But since I had this on hand, I figured go ahead and use the rest of it. And of course this will eventually dry out, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and throw this part out. But that's how you seal this up. So I will continue once this dries after 12 hours, because that's what it says on the instructions here. Somewhere in there, yeah, allow at least 12 hours before exposing the water. Granted, I did run the water, so there's still water in this tap here. But it's more so saying don't just flood it with water before it has time to set up. But once it sets up, then it'll be ready to go, and I will monitor it afterwards to make sure all is good. Comments and questions, drop those down below. If you have any issues similar to this, now you know how to fix it. Please be sure to check out the website, rhtservices.net. Until next time, peace out.